Still struggling to understand, are you, what this coronavirus, COVID-19 is really, truly all about? It's all about the one world order, the new world order, the UN Agenda 21, when now they've moved it forward to Agenda 2030, mission goals. One world government, that's one world government. I'm in the UK, so if it's one world government, what's all this talk about us coming out of the EU, making ourselves an independent country when it's going to be one world government? Number one, that's bullshit. Bullshit about the fucking us coming out of the European Union. That's what I'm referring to. One world government. One world cashless currency. We've already seen in the heat of this COVID-19 pushing people closer and further to using your card. Please use your card. Demonisation of money. So that's second on the list, which is there, which is evident what we've seen in this lockdown. One world cashless currency. One world central bank. We're seeing the banks close now. More and more banks are closing. They won't be needed now when cash is eroded. They're holding back the coin. There's a coin shortage. One world military. The end of national sovereignty. The end of all privately owned properties. We're already seeing a lot of that. Collapsing of businesses, keeping people in the lockdown, getting people constantly quarantining for 14 days when there's nothing wrong with you. If you've got a sniffly nose or someone at work you've been around who's been fraudulently tested positive, and then everyone else has got to go back home for 14 days. It can only affect businesses. The lockdowns affect a lot of businesses. So that suits that one, doesn't it? The end of all privately owned property. Because this Agenda 21 is about them controlling everything on this planet. When they own everything, they control everything. The end of the family unit. Not really sure what that entails, but it doesn't sound very good to me. Sounds like a nightmare. Depopulation control of population growth and population density. Well, we've seen a lot of that, haven't we, in lockdown? Concentrating on the old. I won't go any further into that, but we know exactly what's been going on. Mandatory multiple vaccines. Multiple vaccines. These people in power are evil people. Vaccines make big money. To me, this world runs like clockwork, as clean as the prick on the end of a needle. It's designed with precision, this planet is. Just like the human body is designed with precision. Your body is built with every tool it needs to overcome anything that's thrown at it. And you're supposed to believe, excuse me, you're supposed to believe now that you cannot exist on this earth unless you're getting shot up with vaccines from 1 year to the next. Is that a right existence? Does that sound like a good existence? Having stuff shot in you? Kids are having vaccines before their own immune system is even developed. Now think about that. Think about that. Universal basic income. Is that why they called it universal credit? What they changed it to? People on benefits. Microchips security for purchasing, travel tracking and control. Starting to see all that, aren't we? in the lockdown. Track and trace. Implementation of World Society Credit System, like China. I've been saying to people, if you want to understand the nightmare that we're going to be living in, the UK, take a look at China, what the hellhole they're living in. You would think that any other country would notice another country living in such a horrible nightmare, that countries would rise and go in and change the way they're living and rescue them from the nightmare. Oh no, but we're doing nothing. Because every country is going to follow suit unless we do something and rise, and time is running very thin right now to do anything. The people, well, should I say sheeple, are too dumb to notice the nightmare that they're living in. You've been given all the opportunities to do something, and people are doing nothing. They're setting out the unprecedented control by accepting everything that's thrown at them. Compliance. Compliance is your own downfall. The answer is do not comply to nothing. Millions of appliances hooked up into 5G monitoring system, Internet of Things, the 5G rollout, while we've been in lockdown. What else did they push out? All these vans all over the UK digging roads up, installing all the bigger cabling, so we think to suit the 5G, and I do believe that. Government raised children. In my lifetime, I've noticed the ownership of your own children has been getting less and less and less, and it's been more government control. Fines if you don't put a good attendance in for your children at school. What? And people can't even recognise that this shit's going down right under their nose, and they think that's just the normality. You can get a fine if you take your kids on a holiday without notifying your school. You walk through a school gates now, and it's like you're walking into a prison system. Fortressed up around the school, CCTV everywhere. Your kids are locked in by electronically controlled door locks. The one what I've been to where my son is. Absolutely disgusting, and that's all in aid of terrorism. Terrorism has been a great thing. It's been used to push more and more control on the people. Fear the bogeyman, and that's why you've got to have your schools like fortresses. Government owned and controlled schools, colleges and universities. The end of private transportation, owning cars, etc. All businesses owned by government corporations. This is why we're seeing the financial global collapse of businesses. The restriction of non-essential air travel. Well, they're already talking about a lot of people being made redundant from the air travel, and I've already heard rumours and various videos I've looked at that some aeroplane company businesses might never recover from the lockdown. That's done a great job, this lockdown. Gets the end desired. Going to lose businesses. But no joke, folks, no joke. Everything's a design. There's a reason for everything. Human beings concentrated into human settlement zones. Sites. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that. And he even had a video taken down for talking about it. Let me just say, you've seen the housing boom. Small towns expanding. Do your research, think about it. The end of immigration. Well, I've not seen any evidence of that. There's been over 3,000 piled into the UK since we've been in lockdown. this year, 2020. No joke, folks. The end of private farms and grazing livestock. Yep, we heard a lot of that coming out while they were ferrying Greta Thunberg around the world, and hearing silly things, pathetic things like cattle is damaging the ozone layer because of all the farting. That's the type of shit these people spew out. All to end farming. I've seen it a lot already, even locally where I live, farms have gone. And now they're becoming housing estates on the fields. That's part of your settlement zones. Restricted land use that serves his human needs. Yeah, what does that mean? Restricted land use. Owned by the government, owned by the deep state. The ban of natural synthetic drugs and naturopathic medicine, I think it says. Basically, that's a big list there, a big list, and a lot of it has been very noticeable in what you're seeing over the years, and more so now since the coronavirus pandemic. And it's the New World Order globalist UN Agenda 21 2030 mission goals. You can Google it, and don't bother listening to fact checker. They're debunking truth seekers, the truth. There's a lot of disinformation now being put out there, calling everything false. That's the fight back happening by the globalists to demonise people spreading true information. That's all that is. Don't listen to stuff what's got a red dot on it saying false. They are the false. They just try and demonise and bring down anything that's fact, because the internet is our last source of hope and communication to wake up the last few remaining people who are asleep. But that's what you need to check out, folks. You want to understand the lockdown and coronavirus? Look no further than the New World Order Agenda 21, Agenda 30.